All right, everyone. So we're going to start the week off with some beef tips, and I have a flour mixture going here that I'm going to put into the beef tips. So I have flour, and I'm going to season it with seasoned salt and some onion powder and some pepper. I'm just going to mix this up and put it to the side while I get the beef tips. Before I cut up the beef tips, I'm going to go ahead and chop up this onion. So what I'll be using for the beef tips is this sirloin tip roast that we got on sale. And when we bought it, the sale came to $10 off. So I'm going to go ahead and cut this up and just cube it up. And then that's what we're going to use. Okay, so here are some other things I'll be using. I'll be using some beef broth, a can of cream of mushroom, and a bag of Lipton onion soup mix. So now I'll be putting the flour in the beef tips and just mixing it in there. And the reason I use flour is to thicken up the juice. Now, I've always made my beef tips on the stove top. You can certainly make them in a slow cooker, and you don't have to brown them if you don't want to. I just do it because it gives a nice crust on the outside of the tips, and the flour helps thicken up the juice. So that's what I'm doing here. So now that the tips are browned, I'll be removing the tips from the pan, and now I'll be sauteing the onions. Okay, so I've pretty much got the onions to where I want them. I don't want them totally soft because they're going to be cooking with the tips. I just wanted those flavors to get into the onions. And now that they're at the point I want them, I'm just going to add in all the tips. Then I'm going to add in the rest of the can of beef broth. If you remember, I added a little bit after I browned the tips. And what I did here was I put a little beef broth in the bowl that had the tips so I can scrape out all those delicious crumbs left in there. And now I'm going to go ahead and add in my cream of mushroom. And because I used flour and cream of mushroom, I did not have to add like a cornstarch slurry to thicken this up. The cream of mushroom along with the flour was plenty to thicken this dish up. And now I just need to add my pack of Lipton onion soup mix and mix all this together, and then we're going to let it simmer. And this dish looks delicious already, except now we just want to let it simmer on really low heat and leave it for a couple hours so that meat can get nice and tender. All right, so let's just cover this up, let the meat get tender, and we'll be back in a couple hours when we're ready to eat. All right, so it is done. I made some mashed potatoes to go with it, and that's gravy from the beef tips in the mashed potatoes. This meal was absolutely delicious. The meat was so tender, and yeah, I couldn't have done anything different. So I am happy with this meal, and let's move to Tuesday. All right, so there was plenty of beef tips to go around. So we had leftovers on Tuesday, and we just added a bowl of peaches for each of us. And there's still more left, so I froze what was left for a third meal in the future. All right, so for Wednesday's dinner, we had tomato soup. This was actually a very late lunch, and it turned out to be our dinner for Wednesday because we didn't eat anything after this. And tomato soup is always good, especially on a chilly day. So it was tomato soup, and I also made us each one grilled cheese sandwich. And I just did that on the electric griddle since it was out. And that was our dinner for Wednesday night, but it still tasted really good. Okay, so I'm just cutting up some chicken tenders, and we're just gonna make egg noodles with chicken pieces in it. I actually took out too much of the chicken tenders to thaw out for a different meal. So we ended up just splitting it into two different nights. So that's what we're doing on Thursday night. So I'm just cutting up the tenders into pieces right now. Okay, so I'm just browning up the chicken right now in some olive oil, and then I'll add some water and chicken bouillon. And while the chicken is cooking, I'm just boiling up some egg noodles. So to the chicken, I just added a little bit of water and one chicken bouillon cube and just cooked it on low until they were tender. So to finish this dish off, it's really easy. Once they're both done, I just combine them both together, and that's chicken and noodles. So with this dish, normally we would just put ketchup on it and mix it all together. And as bad as that sounds, it actually tastes pretty good. But we've also used barbecue sauce, or you can just leave it like that, add butter to it for butter noodles. It's up to you, but we've done it several different ways and it's still delicious. All right, so for Friday's meal and the last meal of this video, we're going to make some cornflake coated chicken tenders. So I already have some cornflakes all crushed up for the coating. And we're going to just use an egg to dip the tenders in and then cover it with the chicken or the cornflake coating. Okay, so for the side, I'm just going to make a pack of Knorr rice sides, chicken flavor. And yeah, that's just going to be a basic meal, chicken tenders and chicken flavored rice. Okay, so I just we had 5 chicken tenders and I cornflake coated all of them and I covered it with tin foil for about a half hour and then took the tin foil off so the cornflakes can get a little crispy. So I baked it for about another half hour after that and then just made the chicken flavored rice. So that was our meal on Friday night and that's the last meal of this video. All right, everyone. So I hope you enjoyed the What's for Dinner video, and I have some other videos that are coming up. I also have a breakfast and lunch video for the week, and I think what I'll do going forward is do like that type of video Monday through Friday. And on the weekends, I'll just do like day in the life weekend vlogs. And then whatever we eat on the weekends will come in the weekend vlog meal or video. So I also have food pantry hauls coming up. And so I'm getting those ready to edit and upload. So you'll have a few videos coming up. And then I'm continuing to work on videos after that. So always recording and just trying to think of what I can do to better my videos. Okay, so again, I hope you enjoyed this What's for Dinner video. Stay tuned for the breakfast, lunch, Monday through Friday, and food pantry videos. So yeah, that's going to be it. I hope you enjoyed it. Thank you so much for taking time out of your day to watch it. I appreciate all your support. And with that, remember to live life, be good to yourself, and be good to others. Until next time.